Hi, my name's Chris Scott, and I'm the lead educator here at 3050 for our WSET courses. I'm also responsible for developing our flashcards and additional materials that our students and other students from around the world use. What we're going to be talking about today is our flashcards and just a quick overview about how to access and use our flashcards. Our flashcards can be used for levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and depending on which level you're at, they can be an invaluable resource. So let's find out about how to use our flashcards. Probably the easiest way of finding our flashcards is just to search using 3050, the level of the flashcard you're wanting. I'll use level 3 here, and the word flashcard. When you do that, usually our flashcards are the first to come up. And here you can see that this is our 3050 level 3 flashcards. Click on that and that will take you through to our level 3 page. When you first come in, you won't be logged in and you will need to log in initially. So this is the page, this is the login area. And further down, you can purchase the cards if you haven't purchased them here, or below is where all the flashcards are. Okay, I'll just log in first since I've used the flashcards in the past. And once I've logged in, you lose all the ability to see the purchasing and obviously the login. Once logged in, you can go to any flashcards. Now, our flashcards have two general modes. You can either do them as follow the textbook or random. I'm just going to look at one set of flashcards here and factors affecting price of wine. Now you can see from here, I can either follow the textbook mode, and this mode effectively just has the flashcards in order as they appear in the textbook. It's perfect if you're reading the textbook and you're trying to do active learning. Active learning is when instead of just reading it, you're reading it and trying to recall it immediately. That means you're going to have a much deeper memory of what you saw. So following the textbook is brilliant when you first start reading it. I can either go from the start or I can pick up from the last question I've read. In this case, I've already done 2 of 13 cards, and I'm going to jump in at card number 3 now and have a look. I can see the question here, and if I want to see the answer, all I need to do is tap the page and the answer will flip over and show me the correct answer. You'll notice at the top there are this section called medium, up and down. And this allows me to set the rating of the card. Some cards are very easy to see up. I can set this down to hide, or I can move it back up to medium, hard, or even pinned. And by doing that, I'll be able to choose those cards at a later date if I just want to see a smaller subset. I can then move to the next card, see the answer, move to the next card, etc. When I've finished, I'll automatically finish, or I can finish at any time and move back to the cards. Another way I can access the cards, if I go to, say, port, is by clicking on here, and I can choose to see the cards in a random order. If I do that, I can choose the level, easy, medium, hard, and pin questions, are all questions. I can choose medium, hard and pinned, or just the pin cards. In this case, I'm just going to choose the pinned cards. And by doing this, these cards are going to be ordered randomly. So they're a random order. By clicking this, I will see a card, summarized 20 ports. I quite like to pin cards that are summary cards, such as summarized 20 ports, and see the answer. And I've got a massive summary of cards. It's a really good idea to maybe pin key cards that you think are really important to see, particularly in that last week when you're trying to do your last prep for the exam. Another way to see lots of cards is to group multiple cards together. So, for example, I might want to see all the cards on France at one time. So, by selecting multiple cards on this left-hand menu here, I can choose all of France's cards. I then go to the top here and go selected chapters. And now I'm seeing all of the cards that to do with France. What you'll find is having cards in a random order makes the cards harder, and also grouping large groups together also make the cards harder, which is perfect when you're coming up to that exam. Let's just have a look at the pin cards. And now all the cards that I'm seeing are random. So the first question's on south of France, Côte de Rhône, central vineyards in the Loire. So all the cards suddenly become random. And it's an excellent way of seeing large sets of cards. In addition to text cards, we also have cards that show process of wines, such as our sparkling wine cards. Here you can see a question that says, what can be said about grapes used in the traditional and transfer method of sparkling wine production? And you can see the process of the method of producing wine, so you can see the differences. Another sort of cards that we have are map cards. And these cards use maps. So here I'm going to Champagne. If I go pick it up from 3, and here I'm seeing the different parts of the sub-region of Champagne. Here we're showing Val de Marne, and you can see here all the Champagne regions, but the key one, Val de Marne, is the one we're looking at here. Finally, some of our map cards also have climate information in them. In this case, we're showing a range of different climate lines that show the different lines for climates. Here you can see the blue line represents the difference between maritime and continental. The green line represents the difference between cool and moderate. And the orange line shows us the warm Mediterranean regions of France. And if I click again, in this case, what is the climate here for Nantes, Bourget, parts of Chinon, and Angers-sur-Mer? And you can see it's a cool maritime climate. I hope that gives you an idea of how our flashcards work. Do get into them. They're an excellent way of learning the material and really challenging yourself to try and recall all the facts that are in the exam.